I'm very aware of the fact that we have been trashing religion over the past few episodes, and I'm going to try not to, because I'm sure I'll just be repeating myself, and nobody needs any of that.
Right.
So, I guess I'll go first since I'm already talking.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna give you a very brief, it's very brief synopsis from the Columbia University website as to how and when the Earth became what it is now. So
this guy's a professor at Columbia University.
Oh, nice. So we're gonna have a lot of the same stuff. So a good quote that I started off with was about 4.6 billion years ago, our solar system formed from a cloud of gas and dust, which slowly contracted under the mutual gravity of all of its particles. So that's our solar system starting to come together. Mm. This gaseous cloud made of hydrogen and helium and other small amounts of naturally occurring chemical elements all contracted, and as the nebula contracted, a spinning motion was initiated. The cloud became a disk with high concentrations of matter at the center. This center of mass was the sun, and other clumps collected into orbit planets. The high temperatures toward the center of the solar nebula allowed only materials with high melting points to be stable. So that would be iron and rocky silicates like quartz. And this is why the inner planets are all solid or terrestrial, and the outer planets are all gaseous giants.
Yeah, and it makes sense to even put it more simply. Heavier things obviously sink below lighter things.
Yeah.
So everything that's really heavy, a heavy metal, is going to sink towards the center or the middle of the Earth, and the lighter stuff will continue to pack on top.
Right, especially because it's hot. And those kind of things, rather than gas, like at the beginning of the universe, would have thrived closer to the heat. Because gas will disperse some heat like that. Yeah.
So what's something is funny that you said. I want to back it up a little bit because I just feel like a nerd and I want to tell people.
No, please. I was. That's my one generalization right there. So.
No, there's actually a few points that I'll hit what you said, but so helium is naturally occurring, but it wasn't one of the It wasn't actually one of the first molecules that was produced by the Big Bang. I know we're not going back that far, but what actually I'll end this with a beautiful sentiment, but by Carl Sagan. But what actually creates helium is something called thermonuclear fusion, which look it up. But basically, what happens is when these hydrogen molecules collect over time, just like you were saying, they collect into a ball. Gravity pulls them together. They stick together until things collapse these hydrogens to where they start fusing together, and all the pressure from all these molecules and debris and matter press on it so hard that these hydrogen atoms fuse together to create helium. And hydrogen creates helium that just keeps going, and this is what thermonuclear fusion is. This is what our sun does, which is why it's named after Helios, which is helium, the god Helios, sorry. Which is funny that everything in like our solar system is named after like Greek or Roman gods except for the Earth.
What's the Earth named after? I really don't know that.
I looked it up. It's like Erdes. It's like, I don't know. It's like some Anglo-Saxon wording. I have no idea. Okay. But sorry, I didn't really get it or write it down, so I don't remember. But anyways, what's so interesting about just human life in general is that the minerals and atoms and molecules and stuff that we have here on Earth didn't just come from the Big Bang itself. It came from these generations of like I said, these stars, just like our sun, getting so big, creating so much helium. They get so big that they collapse under their own weight, and that's what's called a supernova, and it explodes, and all these enriched guts and enriched molecules spread across the universe to collect with other molecules, and then create something like what we have now today is what the Earth, which is beautiful. I can't remember I was going to say Carl Sagan, but I can't remember the exact quote, but basically we're stardust.
We're a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
There you go.